Okay, you're live.
Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second, Megan.
Did you find it?
I have it.
Perfect. Me too. We're gonna get started in just a moment, guys. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, I'm making sure. Okay. Well, first and foremost, hello, everybody. My name is Lee Scott, and I'm so honored to be here today with Meagan Pinkney, the founder of Joseph's Ministry. Today, we're here on Joseph's Ministry. We're going to talk about her upcoming and new book, It's Time. So without further ado, I would like to welcome her to her own platform. Meagan, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing, Meagan?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Lee? Thank you so
I
much for doing this with me.
sure. I mean, when you reached out to me and said, Lee, could you do this for me? I said yes, rather quickly. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. So let's kind of jump right in. For those people who don't know a lot about you and what you do in general, could you share a little bit about your background and who you are, but also talk a little bit about Joseph's Ministry and the work that you do there?
Awesome. Yeah. So I always tell people when I meet them that I am an engineer by day and an entrepreneur by night. And I do a little bit of everything in between. So I'm a multifaceted person. So I am an engineer, but I founded Joseph's Ministry 8 years ago. And with Joseph's Ministry, we focus on three things: book publishing, website design services, and business startup. So we can help people in those areas get to their next level. I always tell people that I created this company not out of not having anything else to do in life, but simply because people pull it out of me. I'm an author first. I was an author before I became a business person. I was dibbling and dabbling in website design services before, I was started the company. So everything that I've offered, I've done it for me first.
Yeah.
And then people begin to see my work for myself and begin to say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you help me in these areas? And 8 years later, we've been helping people all over the world do what we do. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited to be here, to be a part of Joseph's Ministry, but yet still continue to do what I do, is to write and to share my story with the world, because that's where it all started. So
Yeah, I'm as you know, I think this is incredible, and I've known you for many years now,
yes.
which is hilarious to me now to think about. But it is a byproduct of your dedication to the things that you want to bring into the world and how you want to make a difference. So, y- y- how has this process been for you with Joseph Ministry and thinking about coming into this new year, and kind of what propelled you to be like, hey, I got to put this out there. I got to bring this into the world. And if you don't mind me asking, as it relates to that, what number book is this for you?
This is number 6.
Wow, I didn't realize it was so you're
Yeah.
6 book in. So for those of you who might be watching who hadn't got started yet, this is encouragement to get started. This is the person you need to hit up to write that book. Okay. So what really inspired you to write this book? I saw a quote that you posted on your page. I want to read it real quick, and I thought it was really, really fascinating. If I can find it as soon as I get on here. But you said something that I thought was really striking
Yes.
on your actual page, and you said, and you quote, and I quote, it said, "In your life, you must come to an internal place of being okay with the process, your
Yes.
process." So
Yes.
expound a little bit for me about that thought process and why you were propelled to write this book. It's time.
Yes, because it's time. This is not just some catchy title, just for marketing purposes to get people interested. It is really prophetic to people that it is time for us as a people to really focus on walking in our purpose,
Yeah.
whatever that looks like for that person. For me, I started off saying in my introduction that I'm a multifaceted person. And for years, I thought the gifts and the talents that I can do were random. They're not random, because it all works together. Now I see it. I'm looking in
Yeah.
retrospect, and I'm doing the best that I can to walk in purpose. Creating Joseph's ministry and helping people is an aspect of me walking in purpose. Me
Yeah.
continuing to write and publish my books is an aspect of me walking in purpose. And there's so many other things that I do in life. They're aspects of me walking in my purpose. I tell people tell me all the time, Meagan, you're just like a purpose pusher. You always talking about purpose, and and I don't try to, but I understand the importance of people really being intentional about their purpose, because I believe that we're created for a purpose, on purpose. But a lot of times the process and the journey to learning the purpose and walking in purpose looks different for different people.
Yeah.
We can get caught up on comparison and say, hey, my process doesn't look like Lee's, so I
Right.
must be doing something wrong,
Right.
right?
Right.
But that's not the case. So we do have to get to a point internally and say, okay, this is my process, and this is what it looks like for me. I begin to say to people that walking in purpose and walking towards purpose and in destiny is not a group activity. Yes,
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
comfortable to have people that are co-sign everything you do,
Right.
clap, pat you on the back every 2 seconds, and you just in a crowd of people that love you, but that's not life. And
No.
that's not reality. So I tell people, yes, you need to have your inner circle, you need to have people that you walk with in life, but at the end of the day, you're going to be responsible. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
a activity. So it's time. It's really telling people and really pushing people to say, it's time to get moving. I was thinking about an example to share for this interview today. And one of the examples came to my mind was, if on January 31st of this year, 2023, we put out a flyer, or I did a video and said, hey guys, in December 31st of 2023, Joseph's ministry will be closing down. We shutting down business, shutting down shop. This is
Wow.
it. Okay. Would you panic because you hadn't even started yet and you was gonna get started in 2024? What would your thought be? Now, I'm not saying we the only company that does publishing or website design services, but I meet so many people and they have so many excuses.
Yep.
Oh, well, I don't have the money, or I'm not ready yet, or I know I've been holding on to this dream and this vision for 15 years, but one day I'm gonna get it together. But what if that one day never comes?
Yeah.
What happens then?
Yeah.
I tell people, and I have this urgency for its time, because people are waiting on us. People are
Yes.
waiting on you to walk in your purpose. Had
Yes.
I not said yes, when the Lord put it on my heart to start this business, we wouldn't be here today. We
No.
would be having this conversation. We would not have had the opportunity to walk alongside so many authors and business owners along their journey. It wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't,
No.
it wouldn't be me. Maybe it would be someone else. I don't know. But it affects people's lives. So your yes now affects somebody else's. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is nothing but a push for people to say, hey, we cannot expect a tomorrow to be there, because we do not know what's going to happen today.
Right. Right. Right.
But
Right. I
we
think
can
that's
take time.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think that's really phenomenal. I to not even add, but just to highlight something, you made a point that we don't have time. Like, time is a resource that is we all have, but it is a limited resource, because we don't know when our time or our lives would end.
Yeah.
So I think this is a phenomenal book, and I think if anybody's watching this or will watch the playback, we're going to talk about how you can purchase it, but you need to be getting on the line to figure out how can you purchase this book, because it is going to give you some principles and keys and wisdom on how you can make a difference. So, what do you want people to get from reading this book, Meagan? I don't think anybody sets out to write a book just for it to be a cathartic experience solely. For some people it is, but there has to be an intention in why you wrote this. So what do you want people to get out of it?
Absolutely. Before I answer that question, I always encourage people, yes, purchase books, purchase my book. I want you to purchase not only this one, but all of the other ones.
Yeah.
But the point is not to just purchase it. We need you to read it.
Yeah.
All of my books are pretty quick reads. They're quick, but they are powerful in content. So you reading it is important, not just purchasing it.
Yeah.
So that may seem like, oh, duh, Meagan, but so many people just buy it and put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
So many people, myself, I've done that so many times, right? But it's like, hey, for
Me
me,
too.
right? So for me, it's like, hey, I want you not only to purchase the book, but actually read it. I've had people, since I've released it on Christmas, people who have purchased it, they've contacted me and say, man, your reason for writing this book was what I needed. It woke up some things in me. It sparked something in me that I needed to get moving, to cancel out, to help cancel out that fear of stepping forward with writing a book or starting the business. I can be honest, even though this is my 6th book, I have felt all of the feelings that most of everybody probably feels, and that hinders them from not moving forward. Fear,
Yeah.
like, what are people gonna think, or what are they gonna say, or are people gonna buy it, or am I tripping? Am I supposed to write this book?
Yeah.
All of these thoughts, all of these feelings, I have felt them, believe me, but this one is different. I know I was supposed to write it and release it before the end of 2022. Yes, that was accomplished, but I really need people to purchase, read it, and really take it to heart and say, hey, and really know, I'm taking time for granted. I think I have time, but I do not
Wow.
know what
Oh
2023
yeah.
holds. I don't know if 2024 is going to come for me.
Right.
I'm not speaking deaf, but I'm just saying, hey, let's be more intentional about
Yes.
our time
Yes.
here on this earth,
Yes.
because we're here for a purpose, on
Right.
purpose. So that's it. Like literally, it's like a shot of 5 hour energy. It's just like a
Yeah.
kickstart. Like, okay, you got to get it started. You
Yeah.
got to get something moving. You got to get something shaking. And now is the time. You cannot procrastinate any longer.
No,
Past this
because there's
point.
no excuse really.
No excuse, but there are people waiting. There are people waiting. And every time I say that, I think about, man, who's holding my stuff up? Who has something I need that you're not
No,
moving
that's real.
forward?
No,
So
this
I try to do the best that I can to not hold somebody else up because I don't
right,
want that to happen to me.
right. We'll probably talk about this off camera, obviously, but there is a encouragement happening right now, even with us talking about this, of how important it is and how crucial it is to prioritize the things that we dream about. And sometimes it's going to take time to get them done, but starting and getting the process
Yes,
is, like you said,
yes.
the process is the thing that you probably need the most. And so I think that's really great. Moving along here, because I have like 2 or 3 more questions for you.
Mhm.
What type of people are you trying to reach with this book? There's a lot of books out here.
It-
And sometimes books are, go back what you said, they're shelf fillers.
Right.
We like to have the idea of having a bunch of books sitting there, to make ourselves seem bookish. I've been guilty of that, like I said. But what kind of people are you trying to engage through its time?
That's a great question. Anybody who can read. I mean, literally. I mean, any and everybody. This is not just for Christians. This is not just for anybody. This is for every single person.
Sure.
My prayer has always been that the people who are supposed to read it, which I believe that is everybody, will be drawn to the book. Will be drawn to, let it be the cover, let it be the title, whatever the case may be. But as long as they get the content, take it to heart and move on it. Because I'm telling you, there's a reason I believe that I couldn't wait until 2023 to get this book released. Now, let me back up a little bit. I actually started writing this book in 2019.
Wow.
Okay. That's not typical for me. Okay. Usually, when I get the inspiration, and the Lord gives me, say, hey, I need you to write this book about this topic. I'm usually on it.
Yeah.
But life happened. Started writing it, put it down, started writing it, did some stuff, put it down. Joseph's ministry, helping other people, which I absolutely love doing. Just was tired. I mean, anything, right? Any excuse. But when we got to December of 2022, the Lord was like, okay, what are we doing?
You got to get it out.
Got to get it out, because I could be holding what I have written, could be the very word or the spark that can help motivate
Yeah.
somebody else to move forward. That's all
Yep.
they did, right?
Yep.
That was it. So
Yep.
I don't want to be the holdup. Plus, I don't know the amazing things that are in store for me for 2023. I may not
Right.
have time to do that,
Right.
like
Right.
legitimate.
Right.
So it's like,
No,
hey,
that's real.
other books are coming,
Right.
other books. So I need to have this out so I can focus on other things. So to answer your question again, it's for everybody. Everybody, because I believe that everybody has a purpose that they need to
Yes.
start exercising.
So, as we get to the end here, what do you feel like you've learned about yourself in writing this book? You mentioned just a second ago that you started writing in 2019, and then there were some life experiences you had,
Mhm.
and this time, right? Um, what do you think prepared you, or what did you learn in the process of writing this book?
Man, I think from 2019 to 2020, I think everybody has grown just because of economic situations. I
Yep.
mean, just the world has changed since
Yes.
the um I have personally have grown knowing that, man, tomorrow's not promised. So many
Yeah.
people have passed unknowingly. I mean, they didn't see that coming. No one saw what came to come. But it came and went. But it's kind of like, oh, I can't keep doing life
Right.
as if it's always going to be like this. Or
Yeah.
I can't just go about doing business as usual because things can change in a second. A
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
And I have grown, not just as an author, but working with Joseph's ministry and walking with so many authors and business owners through their process. It has really molded, I say, my character, allowed me to be more patient and understanding, and just really go into the trenches with people to get them out of being stuck, to say, hey, we can do that. Look
Yeah.
at my life,
Yes.
hey, follow me as I follow Christ. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever we need to do to get people moving, that's what I'm willing to do. So it has helped me to continue to push purpose. I'm not gonna stop doing that, because I believe everybody has a purpose. But the analogy that I gave about, hey, what if we shut down? What if Joseph's ministry shut down? I've actually brought that up to a friend of mine not too long ago. And I said, hey, what if we just shut down, and the Lord shifted me to do something else. She's
Mhm.
like, well, no, because I got to get my children's book published with y'all. And I'm like, well, what's stopping you to do it? What's stopping you?
Right. Right. Right.
What are you waiting on? And I'm
Right.
not saying that to get business. I'm just saying that because that's reality.
Right. Right.
I didn't start this company for no other reason because I believe the Lord told me to. And it's to help people move to their next level in purpose.
Yes.
That can happen in so many different ways.
Yes.
So it's like, hey,
Yes.
don't wait, don't take for granted time, your resources that you have, because it's time and people are really, I'm gonna keep saying it, people are waiting on your gift.
Yes.
Do it
Yes.
scared, do it nervous, do
Yeah.
it not being the expert. When I started Joseph's ministry, people were literally just asking me to do stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this, but I just took it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Somebody told me years ago at work, how do you eat an elephant, Meagan? And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, one bite at a time.
Yeah.
That's it. I just took it one step at a time. And, here we are. So I encourage everybody that I come across, everybody that I meet, hey, just take the step. Once you
Yeah.
take the step, the doors will fly open.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
me. So that's literally all I've ever done is just walk by faith, do it scared, and just watch God do what he do.
That's awesome. So I have a fun question for you, and
Okay.
then we'll wrap it up. But how does it feel for you to be on the other side of this interview?
Yeah,
I know it's unusual, but how does it
yeah,
feel?
I would much rather be on the other side. But even writing this book and feeling all those feelings again, I was like, man, was I too hard on my clients? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can see what they, how they feel. But the thing is, I did it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did it scared, or I did it, I pushed past those feelings. But the same way with this interview, it's like, am I too too hard on people? But that really helps people move forward. And it does allow me to stay humble, I guess, and to
Yeah.
remember, hey, it's not that easy. You just straight to the point, but it's not that easy
No.
to do this. So no, that's a great question.
Yeah. Well, Meagan, thank you again for having me on here and asking me to do this for you. So the last thing I want to ask you about, because I think this is the most important thing, is how can people purchase the book or obtain the book? Where can they go to find that information? And also, how can they follow you on social media? I think you have a lot of wisdom and insight, and I think people should see everything that you do. So where can they go find the book? And also, what are some of the ways they can follow you or engage you on social media?
Perfect. So you can purchase the book from my website at www.meaganpinkney.com, and we'll make sure to put that link in the chat. And also you can follow me on Facebook at first and last name Meagan Pinkney, and on LinkedIn Meagan Pinkney, as well as Instagram at I am Meagan08. So.
Well, Meagan, thank you for giving me this opportunity. On behalf of Joseph's Ministry, LLC, we thank you for tuning in and watching today. So we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.